But we also know that when you do life with people, with other humans, that can sometimes get complicated. Sometimes it's difficult to gather regularly with people who don't look or talk or act or think or vote or believe exactly the way that you do. HR also stands for healthy relationships. What does it look like to not just simply gather and check a box, but to actually work towards healthy relationships together? Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commands. So I think maybe it would be safe to say that a mark of a maturing Christ follower is that we're growing in our love. Not just our love for God, but our love for others.
How do you kind of go into those relationships without seeing people as like a project?
Yeah.
Or like, and you genuinely want to get to know them without them thinking you have ulterior motive?
Yeah. I think the hard part is, man, you can't keep people from thinking what they'll think. Some people will think, man, the only thing you ever wanted to do was tell me about Jesus and that's all, and leave. And it's like, some people think that. But I think if you're walking into a lunch or you're walking up to somebody on campus and you're getting to know them, to ask them, like just like you did your friends that are around you, man, the first thing you looked at when you seen your friend, you didn't ask them what they thought about Jesus. You didn't say, what do you believe about God? Yeah. Like that was the first thing you said. If it is, I mean, great. Most of your friendships didn't come that way. Most of your friendships came because you were asking, hey, what you think about LeBron and MJ?
Yeah.
Who do you think the greatest is?
Yeah.
And that starts up probably every conversation between every man, sports, anything. You get to know somebody. You get to know what they like, what they don't like through conversation. And as you get to know them, man, you get to apply the gospel to their life. Man, because I know somebody struggled with pornography, or I know somebody struggled with abuse in their family, or I know somebody struggled with not having a dad or mom in their family, you know what I get to do now? Not with that information, I get to abuse it by saying the wrong. Like, what I get to do is, man, I get to speak into their life of who God is. He's merciful. He's gracious. Man, an abusive person might have been through abuse. You know what they don't think is true about the world? Or what they don't think is true about people? That there's a such thing as mercy.
Yeah.
Or love. Or care, yeah. And it's like, man, there is. And because I know you, I actually get to fit this gospel to your context. I don't get to change the gospel. I take what the gospel is and help you understand it in your own context. And that means I get to help you see that the gospel meets every single person with it. It's not a one size fits all in the sense of, man, I just tell you about Jesus and I leave. No. It is that it is for all. And, I hope that answers the question, Gab.
Yes.
I mean, as we're talking about, nobody cares what you know.
Yeah.
They don't know that you care. Yeah. I mean, it's a good word to even that. Like, one way to even to go on further. I mean, one way people know that you care is just you're curious about their lives. You ask questions. You get to know them on deeper than just men in a room. We could walk in we could have a 45-minute debate on why MJ is better than LeBron. But see, look, we could have a 45-minute debate on why Chick-fil-A is better than McDonald's.
I don't think that's a debate.
That's true. Why McDonald's fries are better than Chick-fil-A fries?
Okay.
But what it looks like to get to know someone on a deeper level, get to know some man. You're talking about sin struggles. You're talking about their family, and even give them, man, the truth.
Yeah.
That this pain, that this life, that this temporary affliction they face, does not outweigh the eternal glory that is to come in heaven.
Yeah. And can I add something?
Yeah.
Man, one thing I was been learning about in just being around some smart people is this idea of, man, when I'm talking to people, my life shows you. Yeah, I know a lot of people say, well, the way I live my life will show. It's true. Jesus said that. That's just true. But I want to live my life and I want to tell a better story. That's what we get to testify about. Like, everybody has a story. Everybody has lived a story, is living a story. Everybody's experiencing, even some people are experiencing other people's stories because of their close proximity. But the Christian gets to tell about this better story that is. This better story being the Bible. This grander story, this more beautiful story. And it tells of it. And it tells each and every one of us who we are.
Yeah.
But it also tells us who we are. We're sinful. We are all the different things that we can't work our way up to God. He's holy. He's righteous. We're not. It tells us that. But this better story is that it tells us that we don't have to.
Yeah.
And there's an in-depth, I'm not going to go into it right now, but this better story, I think, is what everybody wants to hear. All of us.